It is time for some more Rush Duel Duel Links gameplay, going in with the brand new VOIDVELG Fusion Draw deck. This got me to King Games last night. It was a bit of a mixed bag, right? So the deck can be really explosive, right? You're summoning your Apocalypse, you're playing Dark Hole Device, nuking the board, but it's so reliant on seeing this Dark Prophet here that it feels really, really bad when you don't draw it, or when you mill it, or just in general, when you can't get your fusion plays off. It's a deck that can feel so good at the same time, feels so bad. Going for a Cyclone, nuking the device, getting a draw 1, that's some really big value. Going into your skill, of course, this skill is bonkers, right? Like, I feel like the Dark Galaxy skill is not as good as the other ones, right? So you've got, of course, the Light Galaxy one that does give you some draw power, does get you access to your Secret Order if you want it. Seventh Road, fix your hand every turn, put a Seventh Road in their field every turn, basically. And the Dark Galaxy one is you get to do some drawing, and you've got to get rid of your big bodies to do that, and then you've got to struggle to kind of get those big bodies out, because you're reliant on the fusion summon plays that you might not see. And especially when you've got a 7th Road Witch in the game, with Piercing and Charming Witch, we'll see how things go. We'll see how they go. See what you hit. Okay, going for this one, which means our face down is the Lava, which is really, really big in some certain situations. Now, this could be pretty good, right? So, let's go and Pot of Greed first of all, and we draw. Not great. We're playing in our deck 6 high level bodies, and we've not seen a single one yet. You know, we have back removal, but we have no real way of dealing with any of this, right? So I think at the moment it is going to be setting Globule, setting a Dark Prophet, setting this this Storm and Crisis, and passing. If we draw into a fusion, we can play the skill, dump it, bring it back with Dark Prophet. We can then go make our Apocalypse and then nuke the board. If they mill, you know, whatever they hit here is good, right? If they change the one position, it's 0 attacker. This one is the same. These two die to Piercing. So we're not in a very good spot. But if they summon out 7's Road from the hand, then we can Rice Terrace them, because it then means that they can't do that many plays without tripping off. Here's SRM, and here is my Rice Terrace Crisis. Putting you face down, and going to be putting the Valkyria face down, doesn't really matter though. But now you've got to use up more materials to do any plays. Right, you've got to sacrifice your double tributes to summon into another 7's Road to make space for a Charming Witch, or to go into your Master 7's Road. There is the Magical Stream. Going for the Storm. 1-for-1 trading is fine. Not great in that we've got to clear this board, but hopefully our draws give us Fusion or a VOIDVELG Requiem. Ideally Fusion, because we need to see that. And we've seen there is the Fusion play. Okay, so we can technically here try for some really big mills in the Cataphract. Right, so we can summon the Prophet, summon the Cataphract, get a mill off, and then hopefully get a good tribute summon monster. I think we go Dark Prophet, Pale Rider, we play Fusion, and we go and make this VOIDVELG Apocalypse, right? And it is gonna suck, right? This is gonna really, really suck. We've now got to decide what to discard, and Cataphract mills one to add back a card, but doesn't really do much outside of that. However, we do get to add back a card with the Dark Hole Device. So I think what we do is we go for this Cataphract, right? Discarding, go and add back the Dark Hole Device, gives us a board nuke, and gives us an add of a material. So let's go Dark Hole Device, nuke the board, add back to the hand. What do we want? We probably want a Globule, right? To make Protostar. That's probably what we want. So let's go and grab the Globule. We can then go and play Dark Prophet, activate the effect, return 1, 2, and 3, just put them all back to the deck, that's fine, and go and grab back out a Fusion, and we're probably going to run here into a negate attack, right? Because there's been no sign of a bounce, right? No compulsory, no executed riding, so I'm expecting it to be a negate attack. But if not, then this could be a really, really big play here. So I'm going to add back the Cataphract to our hand, Now, I'm also going to summon it, and I'm going to risk it. I'm going to see if we milled it. We didn't mill anything, that's fine. Here, if there's nothing, there is. Negate attack. Widespread Ruin, doesn't matter, it cannot be destroyed by card effects, and with that, we have won our first game in COG with the brand new VOIDVELG deck. Let's go on to game number 2. And we've got a Zuijo for a mirror match. Now, will it be the Typhing skill or will it be the brand new skill we're playing? Let's find out. Going second. Both on a win streak. He's on a bit of a better one. So he's doing a lot better in king games than I am, which is perfectly fine. And in terms of a hand, it's not great, right? It is a set 3 pass angle at the moment. If we see anything better, then that's fine. Pale Rider, though, does make it a bit better. It does mean we can somewhat risk a mill here, right, to see a tribute. Ooh, we do. We do. So we can go for our skill, get a mill off. Don't really want to. I'm going to go for the Cryseor, and we're going to try and hit a big mill, multiple attacks, right? Because he's going to be face up. So play the effect. We milled 3. We milled 3, but those cards aren't face up. So we don't get the big OTK play, right, with the multiple attacks and the nuking the board. It is just we swing in and see what happens, right? We get 1 attack in, a second attack, a third attack, and a 4th attack in, and we end on 1,000 life points left with nothing there that Zuijo could do. Right, there was no real back row that was live there, so I'm guessing he's got, probably got the back removal, right? He's probably got that. What else would you be playing, right? You probably maybe have a Darkhold device of your own. That'd be a cool play to have. You know, discarding your entire hand, sending the slime, another thing we haven't got to worry about. That's great. I do think Darkhold device is coming down. Right, I believe that we're going to see that. Yeah, okay, face down. Makes sense, right? Sending 1, sending 2, sending 3. Nukes our board, and we add back. There's Meteor Lava as well, so you are, okay, we're playing very similar builds, right? The build I'm playing is based off a build from Sora, I believe it is, who got top 2 in a National Tournament and top 4, and I took like a amalgamation of both their lists and put them together and changed a few things, right? I put in the Rice Terrace because it's been proving really, really big for us, but you're going to go for the fusion play. You know, you read the delay, but you've got to go for it, right? You've got to go for it. So in for the VOIDVELG Apocalypse, and we're not going to let you have access to that Darkhold device in your graveyard. I'm sorry, mate. It's going back to your hand. Void Corridor, though, sending a fusion to go and grab back out the Cataphract. So this will, if you mill well, okay, there's a Cryseor. That's fine. Adding back the Requiem, ending on a Requiem, and we know the back row is nothing overly special. So 25 damage, okay, 28 damage, it's perfectly fine. Oh, we've seen good plays. So let's go Pot of Greed. We can go for the skill to dump these 2. I think we do that, right? Yeah, we go play the skill, we get these 2 in our graveyard, we get a draw 2. Right, so we send these 2, and we drew these 2. That's actually hilarious. Let's go Lava. Let's go Cataphract. I'm going to go and mill with the Lava first of all. Milling 2, putting cards in the graveyard. Going to mill with the Cataphract, milling 1, getting us out a Requiem. And here, of course, we're grabbing Requiem. And you're going to scoop because you assume I have more plays than I do. But I didn't. You know, the plays I had weren't that great. But we were in a much better spot overall. So let's see what happens in game 3. And we've got a Udius, so we are seeing all 3 of the new box decks, right? The best decks in the format by far at the moment. It's going to be Seventh Road, Light Galaxy, and of course Dark Galaxy. I think probably in that order. And in terms of opening hand, this would go really hard on turn 2. But turn 1, it is, it's fine. I want to see some good back row though. Oh, Jesus. Set this. And I'm going to keep those 4 in hand. Next turn we can play our skill, right? We can dump Requiem and get 2 draws and get, you know, a bunch more mills, right? So we can get a good feel for filling up our graveyard. Or, if he has a big board, we shotgun Darkhold Device and bring back out the Pale Rider. That is the second option. This, of course, can bring back up from the graveyard the Oblivion, which is like, I really want to play this deck, right? However, tomorrow, or at least maybe today, I believe, when this is going up, I think it's going up at midnight. So, today, there potentially could be a selection box for Rush Duel. And we saw with the loaner event, right, for Rush Duel Trials, there was a new Galaxy card in there, ultra rare, that we hadn't had available in the box. So, there's a chance that we might get that. And that's absolutely terrifying. Like look at that damage output. It is ridiculous. So, we could go for a board nuke here. Right, we go for a board nuke, and then we add back a Requiem, and then we play Globule, and then summon it out. This does get us out. Right, it gets us out of Requiem, that can attack in, and then there's no defensive options, right? So I think either way, we're not in a good spot at all, right? This is just not a good spot to be in. So whatever we do, I think we're kind of boned. So I think we go mill these two, we get good draws, and we mill those. Okay. That is a lot better than I thought. I might be wrong, right? I might be wrong, but let's try it. So 1, 2, and 3 nukes the Borg, and then we go and get back the Globule. This makes the Protostar. This gets down to a big few. Okay, right, sure. So we go add back the VOIDVELG Globule. We can then summon into the Dark Prophet here. Ooh, there is a compulsory there. Okay. Part of the cards guide me to riding. This needs to go off, and it's not going to go off, right? This isn't going to go off. So, like, we're gonna play this Globule here, and we're gonna see. We're gonna feel. Ooh, we didn't feel. I imagine you're turning it off, right? I imagine. Unless you got a 0 attack in the graveyard, which you might do, but I doubt it. This went through. There's Protostar. Protostar can add back to hand the Dark Prophet, right? Yeah, Dark Prophet. And then summons back out the Theogonia. Oh, sorry, the Chrysaor, sorry. We then play Dark Prophet. We then go for another fusion play. Right. This might work out. I'm not sure where if this is going to work out. This back row, there feels like there's a delay, right? Feels there's a delay. So, if there's Compulse here, then that's fine. If there's Riding, that's not great, but at the same time, that's 3 big bodies. Swinging in. But lethal. That worked! Okay. The time was going down, we pulled it off, and this is the thing, you've got to really think about these combos with Dark Galaxy. The other 2 decks, not really. Right, but Dark Galaxy, there are a bunch of lines you can go down, and that's why it's really cool. So it's a really cool deck to play. I believe that was game 3, right? So let's go for game number 4, and see what we can find. Maybe a Worm deck, maybe Cyburst, maybe a Archive skill, and it's going to be a Yuga Odo, going back to that 7th Road deck, of course. Going to be very popular. It is the Structure Deck for the Wars campaign. It is a free Structure Deck as well. You know, if you have got the cards already, they were already a very easily accessible deck, and now even more so. It is rough to see this, right? I'm going to do something kind of dumb, but I'm going to ensure that he's got to attack into this, right? You've got to swing into a big body. If you're playing, you know, Master Excel Road, then you're going for the Charmy Witch. You're going to be getting Piercing, and then attacking in with another big fusion, and it could mean, you know, taking 5,000 damage in one turn. So we'll see what happens. Going for the 7th Road Witch, going for the stream, hitting a fusion, that's fine. Again, the downside is we saw 2 of our Prophets in our opener, and the only real way of recursion we've got is the Globule. Here comes the boy 7th Road Magician, just going for the fairly straightforward play that you can't beat over my big guy. It was the correct play. You did not add, okay, you did not add fusion. Okay. And in your hand is probably another 7th Road. So we're in a really good spot here, right? Like here we can just like attack him with this, get, you know, multiple attacks in and be fine. Activate VOIDVELG Chrysaor. Only milled 1. Right, so that's not that good. We then go for Dark Prophet. This then adds back a copy of Fusion by getting into, I guess we'll leave that in the graveyard, sure, why not. We'll leave that in. Now we can then go and add back the fusion. And I want to go for the one that summons out a guy from the graveyard, right? So we want to go for... Okay, we can't go for Protostar. We can go for Theogonia and try it again, right? So I think we do that, right? We go activate fusion, go for VOIDVELG Theogonia, and this might give us actually the materials in our graveyard to make a super big board. Just a massive board, right? So we play this, we bring back out a Chrysaor from our graveyard, we play the effect of Chrysaor, and we mill 3 cards. Now, the issue here is they weren't the same level, so we don't nuke the board, but we can now go for Globule, we can go and play the effect of Globule to return 1, 2, and 3, let's go for 1, 2, and 3, back to the deck, get a double tribute, go for the Requiem, he becomes really big, we've got 3 attacks on the Chrysaor, and this is just like the most dead board I've ever seen Yuga have. Right, this becomes massive, this swings in for 1, swing in for 2, swing in for the 3rd attack, and then because we can do swing in for the 4th attack and the 5th attack and we win. Okay, game number 5. Let's see, can we go 5 for 5? Let's find out. Okay, game 5 versus a Yuga. It was expected, it's not the most interesting matchup in the world, but let's see. Going second, both on a win streak, I'm on a 5, so this will be a 6-win streak, okay. And opening hand is not great. Right, we've got the lava, so we can go for some more mills, right, get 2 mills out, potentially see more cards for our Cataphract to get into. That's solid, right, but it's not great. However, double fusion is really good just to get him out there. Get him out there, get a draw 2, Dark Hole Device is not worth playing right now. It's just not. It's just not. So what we need to do, really, is go Lava and Cataphract. And this is just going to be milling a bunch, right? Mill 3 doesn't mill anything good. Mill 3, okay, we've now got this in the graveyard. We mill Polygreed, not the best. Go and mill, mills Requiem, adds back a Requiem. So we can deal with this board a little bit here, but it's not great. Right, we're not clearing everything. We're leaving them with some space. We've got a Dark Hole Device for next turn. They, of course, could have back removal and shut it down. And in terms of our mills, we milled 1 Dark Prophet. So that's good. Right, we've got all 3 fusions in the graveyard, which is fine, because it's someone with Dark Prophet means we got it back anyway. And then milling, don't you dare mill a Witch. Sending the cat from field is interesting. Hammer Crush, okay. Discarding a Witch, killing the device, you now summon the Strange Familiar, right? You summon the Strange Witch Cat. Nope. A second Hammer Crush. Okay. Okay. There's the cat. There's the cat. Cat brings out Witch. Witch discards a card, brings out 7's Magician. Right? And then you go for the fusion play, and you go from there. So, you're making a fairly big board. You know, you've got piercing access, right? That's good. It's not the end of the world, right? We know this left back row here is nothing great. It just comes down to that card in hand being a good one. Hopefully they're good for us, right? You know, mill a Legend Trap. Oh, milling the Widespread and milling 7th Road. Okay, good mills. Good mills for us. 50% life. That's fine. We can go and make the full shebang. The whole apocalypse. It is done. Let's go. First of all, for Dark Prophet, we'll play Universal Storm. Send that riding to the graveyard. Goodbye riding. Goodbye riding. We'll play Prophet. Return 1, 2, and 3 back to the deck. Gives us fusion. We'll then go and grab Power Rider and fusion summon into the VOIDVELG Apocalypse. This, of course, requires a discard, which is kind of annoying, but it is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. So we can then go discard Requiem to go and add the Dark Hole Device. We'll then go and play the Dark Hole Device to nuke the board, because if we whiff on the mills here, then we've still won regardless, right? Because 40, 50, yeah, that's 45, 6,000, that's fine. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're going to win with Zuijo's OG Ace. We're going to summon it. We're going to kill him. Kill him with VOIDVELG Requiem. Here we go. 35 in, 25 in. That's lethal. This deck is really, really good. But at times, it can be really frustrating. But when you pull off that Dark Hole combo, it is so, so good. And the one card I haven't really summoned yet is the big boss, right? The fusion of the Requiem and the Chrysaor that does back row popping attacks twice. I'm surprised we've not got a fusion of Requiem by itself. I assume it exists. I hope it does. But we've not got that yet. So hopefully down the line we do. But overall, this was a really fun deck to go through. And in terms of deck list, it is fairly straightforward. Basically, you're playing through everything. 2 of the Lava, 2 of the Universal Storm. You can probably buff this up to 3. Get rid of the Crisis, right? I'm playing this because it's been so, so good against 700 Axel or even against Light Galaxy, right? Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on next one's video, which will probably be tomorrow for a more speed door focused stuff, right? Going through the new box, selection box, potentially anniversary box, all that kind of thing that's happening tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe from leaks, we'll find out. Anyway, adios.